also been released, and the next episode is scheduled for Sunday evening on Canal D. Episode 8 did not simply move the story forward, it changed the position of almost every major character. Aras is no longer only the young man who come be boredom searching for his missing brother. He has become a direct dad to the Akaya family, carefully protected his presence is forcing all secrets to rise to the surface, even when powerful people try to push them down again. At the same time, his emotional life has become more complicated. Lela is standing closer to him. Denise has finally faced her feeling. Toyman is become more dangerous, and Sabnam is using greatest power to remove Aras from her. Afterward, the official episode is summary confirmed that Aras and Lela arrive at a charity fashion event pretending to be a couple. Toyman attack Aras, the Akaya family become involved in a public scandals, and the family letters need Aras help. Episode 9 will continue with the threatening close of the orphanage. The children refusing to leave and Aras comforting Sehrat about the persons who brought him to boardrooms and may know where his brothers is. Why his new development matters so much. We need to look at Arask's position at the beginning of the story. Arask has spent most of his life without the safety that many other characters take for granted. He does not have a powerful family name, a large home, or people who can erase his problem with money. He grew up carrying a painful question about his brothers and about the family beat that was taken away from him. That question became the center of his life. Every decision he makes is connected to the hope that his brothers may still be alive and that the trust can finally give meaning to the years he spent alone. When Arask came to Bodrum, he entered a place that looked beautiful from the outside. There were expensive houses, rich families, parties, beach, and young pupils who appeared to have everything. However, Araz quickly discovered that wealth did not mean peace. Behind the walls of the Akaya home, there were old wounds, hidden angers, broken trust, fear, and secret that could destroy the family. Could public image. Arask have arrived with few possessions, they everyone around him, but the carried something more powerful, the courage to ask questions that others people were afraid to answer. That is why the Akaya family cannot treat him like an ordinary visitor. Every time he refuses to leave, he brings the past closest to them. Episode 8 places Eras in a situations where a parents and the reality are fighting against each other. The charity fashion event is supposed to present the Kaya family and genders represented, and caring it is connected to helping children without families, which gives the event a special meaning. When Eras attends, Eras understands what it means to grow up without present and without a storm. Homes for him, family sport are not part of a public reactions project. Their struggles are real because he has lived through similar pain. The Akaya family, however, is surrounded by cameras, guests, social experiment, and the needs to protect their reputation. When Aras and Laila arrive together, they immediately attract attention. Their appearance as a couple is a part of an agreement, but the emotion beneath that agreements are becoming harder to hide. The situations become even more explosive when Toyman attack Aras instead of the evening showing the Akaya as a united and generous family. It reveals violence, jealousy, and a serious lack of control. The family perfect image begins to fall apart in front of the every pupils they wanted to impress. Toyman attack is important because it does more than injures Aras. It changes the balance of power before the event. Kaya could behave as angers Aras. The public problem they could describe him an outsider was or entering their lives, confusing their children and creating conflict. After time and public violence, that explanations becomes much harder to defend. Iraq did not enter the event and create a scandal by attacking someone. Toyman made the decisions to use violence. That explanations become much harder to defend. Arask did not enter the event or create a scandal by attacking someone. Toyman made the decisions to use violence. This means Akaya family must deal with the consequence of one of its own members losing control suddenly. The family that wanted Aras to disappear need his corruptions. The official episode 8 description stated that the scandal forces the Akaya to ask Aras for help and that his decisions to exist and create a new risk for exposing a secret from the past. Angie reveals Arask may not have the family money or social power but the now has something they need. He can choose whether to make the situation where most them or protected them from the full consequence of Toyman actions. Arask's decisions to help is also a test of his characters. It would be understandable if we refused. He had been insulted, threatening attack, and repeatedly told to stay away. Several members of the Akaya family have treated him as though his life and emotions mattered less than their helping them could look like weakness, especially after Toyman behavior. Yet Aras does not measure every decision through revenge. His strength comes from the fact that he has suffered without allowing that suffering to completely remove his sense of right and wrong. He can be angry, he can challenge people, he can make mistakes. However, he does not want to become a copy of the people who hurt him. When he chooses to help, he shows that Toyman violence has not again control over his personality. Toyman may hurt his body, but he cannot easily force Aras to abandon his value. This is one of the reasons Aras attracts loyalty. People see that he is not perfect, but then also sees that the stand for something larger than his own pride. At the same time, helping the Akaya may place Aras is greater danger. A family secret is safest when outsiders remain far away. Once Aras becoming involved in solving the family public problem, he gain access the conversation and relationship that might otherwise remain close to him. The family believe it is using Aras to control the scandals, but every new connections can give him another piece of information. People under pressure often reveal more than they intend. A frightening person may contradict an easier story. Someone trying to protect a lie may suddenly react too strongly to a simple question. A family member may begin to see Aras differently after he helped them. The family need for Aras could therefore create the every situation they are trying to prevent. They may bring him closer to the secret while believing they are keeping the secret safe. This makes episode 8 a turning point in the mystery surrounding Arask brothers. The search is no longer happening only through distant clue. Anyone's information, the old record, Arask is not moving closer to the pupils who may connected to the trust. Lala's role in these events is equally important. His relationship with Araz begin is a world field from difference. She comes from a powerful family, while Araz comes from a orphan age. She understood the rules of the Akaya home, but Araz questioned those rules. Lala has lived with Curtain's comfort, yet these comforts have also placed limits around her. Family expectations influence when he can go and where is expected to behave. Eras does not enter her life as someone who accepts those limits. He makes her look at the people around her with new eyes. Rask does not enter her life someone who accepts those limits. He makes her look at the people around with new eyes. He also makes her question whether family loyalty should require silence when the family is wrong. Their decisions to act like a couple may begin as a plan, but the situation also feels that we are already developing to become more visible. Walking into the event together is only a performance, it is an emotional step. They are presenting themselves as a united in front of people who may disapprove, and that shared risk event naturally brings them closer. Fake relationship is television's stories often become powerful because the characters must perform emotionals they are already trying to hide. Lala and Araf may agree that they are only acting, but every public gestures create a private question when they stand close together. Are they only protecting their plan? When only one becomes jealous, is that jealousy part of the performance? When they defend each other, they are following an agreement or acting each other's from cares. The difference become increasingly difficult to identity. Lala willingness to enter the Akaya event with Eras also shows courage. She knows her family will notice. She knows Toyman man resent reactly badly. Toyman will react badly. She knows Sabnam already considers Eras dangerous. Still, she chooses to stand beside him. That choice gives Eras something he has rarely experienced: a person from inside the powerful family, openly showing that he is not alone. However, Lala and Eras are not moving through a simple love story. Their growing connection is surrounded by the brother mystery, family manipulation, social difference, and dangers. Aras cannot forget why he came to boardroom. Even if he wants a future with Lala, he must first understand his past. Lala may want to support him, but she does not yet everything her own family may be hiding. If we trust about Lala brother is connected to the Akayas, Lala could eventually face an impossible emotional choice. She may have to decide whether to protect the people who raised for help. Arask expose something painful he loves for Arask will means little if despairs. When the trust becomes uncomfortable, the real test of their relationship will not be whether they can enjoy a peaceful moment together. It will be whether they can remain honest when the investigations points towards someone. Lala loves Dennis adds another layer to this emotional conflict. Episode 8 brings her feeling into the open when she admits her love for Arask. This confession does not suddenly appear from nowhere. Denise has been affected by Arask for some time, but she has also carried her own emotional pain. A young person who does not feel fully loved or understood at home may become deeply attached to someone who offers attention, respect, or emotional safety. Arask does not belong to the control world around Dennis. He speaks directly, take risks, and treat family power as something that can be challenged. To Dennis. This may feel free, feeling her feelings may be sincere, but sincerity do not guarantee that these feelings will be returned. That is what makes her situations painful. She is not only competing with Lala, she is facing the possibility that Ara's heart has already moved in the directions she cannot change. Danny's confessions could have several effects. First, it forced Aras to respond honestly, avoiding the subject is no longer easy once the feelings have been spoken. Second, it changes the relationship between Dennis and Lala. Even when two people care about each other, love can create distance if both are emotionally connected to the same persons. Third, the confession may push Dennis closer to Toyman at a dangerous time. The official's material for episode 8 highlight Dennis spending time with Toyman, while episode 9 information comes from that she tells Lala about Ara's feeling even that Toyman understands rejections, anger, or lines, yet Toyman is not emotionally stable. He may offer comfort one moment and use Danny's pain for his own plan. The next, her sadness makes her valuable to someone who is searching for a way to hurt Araz. The most interesting part of Danny's position is that she does not have to become a typical jealous rival. The story can take her characters in a more mature direction. She may feel hurt without becoming cruel. She may struggle with jealousy while still recognizing that Lala did not steal something that belongs to her. Arask has the right to choose whom he loves. It Dennis eventually accepts that the trust her characters could grow in a meaningful way. Episode 9 may begins that process when she tells Lala that Aras is in love with her. This information could be used as a weapon, but it could also be an act of painful honesty. Denise may be chosen to stop hiding what she sees, even through speaking the trust confirm her own disappointment. The emotional meaning will depend on her she says it and what she does not. Afterward, for Lala, hearing that Arask loves her could change the entire relationship. Until now, the agreement between them was provided protection. They can hide behind the idea they everything is part of an act. One Lala believes that Ara's feelings are real. She must face her own emotions without that excuses. She may feel happy, frightening, quality, or confused. Happiness is natural because she clearly cares about him. Fear is also natural because loving Aras means entering the center of a family conflict. Guilt may come from Danny's pain or from the knowledge that her family has repeatedly harmed Aras. Confusions may arise because Aras has not yet personally explained everything. Lala could wonders why she learns the trust from Dennis instead of hearing it directly from him. This could create tensions even inside a romantic development. Love does not automatically solve a communications problem. Eras is carrying a heavy emotional burden. He is searching for his brother's protection, his friend dealing with torment, and trying to understand Akaya family actions. He may believe that admitting love would be place Lala is more danger. Lala, however, may see silence as a lack of trust. They will need to move beyond dramatic gestures and begin having honesty conversations. A real relationship cannot survive if one person is always trying to protect the other by hiding important information protections. Without honesty, they become another form of control, and Lala already lives in a family where people make decisions for her in the name of protections. Toyman's story is moving in the opposite directions while Aras again spot by showing courage and compassion. Toyman is losing control because he allows jealousy and anger to guide him. He attack on Aras at the fashion event is not a sign of strength. It sure that he cannot mean his emotions when he feels threatening. He wants to prove that Aras is beneath him, yet every violent actions give Aras creditors more power. People may fear Toyman, but fear is not the same as respect. When Toyman attacks someone in public, he damages his own family, harms his own position, and gives others a reasons to question him. He tries to destroy Arask's place in their world, but his actions make Arask more important. The official episode 8 information suggests that Toyman starts a new and dangerous plan to hurt Arask, but the plan may eventually cause great pain for Toyman himself. Important because it tells us that Toyman's next move will probably have so consequence he does not expect. He may believe that he is controlling Dennis using the orphanage issue or creating a situation that will separate Aras from Lala. Yet plans built on anger often fail because the person making them does not think clearly. Toyman sees everything through competitions. If Hakan prizes Arak's Toyman experience, if a personal lose, if Lala stands with Arak, Toyman see betrayal, if Dennis cares about Arask, Toyman may treat her feelings as another reasons for revenge. This mindset prevents him from understanding that no every relationship is a conquest with one honors and one losers. Episode 9 may depend Toyman hearted toward his own family. The official trailer information stated that Toyman is no longer only angry with Arask, he is also filled with hatred toward his family. This his conflict is becoming larger. Perhaps he feels that his family is choosing his reputation over him. Perhaps a calm respect for Eras makes Toyman feel replaced. Perhaps he believes that Layla, Dennis, and others are moving away from him. Whether the exact reasons Toyman may begin acting against everyone rather than targeting Eras alone. The change could make him more dangerous because he will no reasons care whether his action damage the Akaya family. At the same time, Toyman should not be viewed as a character without pain. Understanding his pain does not excuse his violence, but it can explain why he continues making destructive choices. A person who feels ignored, compared, or emotionally rejected may develop anger that grows over time. Toyman appears to be someone who needs control because he is afraid of being unimportant. Aras threatened him not only because Layla or Dennis may care about Aras. Aras also threatened the story Toyman tells himself about his own value. Toyman has grown up believing that his family name, money, and position make him powerful, and then Aras arrive with none of those things and still gain loyalty, respect, and love. Aras demonstrate that characters can create influence without wealth. For Toyman, that lessons feels humiliating. Hakan grows respect for Aras is especially painful for Toyman. The episode 9 trailer indicates that Hakan praises Aras' courage, and Toyman hears these conversations. World may feel like a rare moment of recognition from someone connected to the family that has opposed him to Toyman. Those same world men sound like a rejection. He may believe Hakan sees Aras as stronger, brave, or more worthy. This could push Toyman toward an even more reckless response. He may try to prove himself through another act of aggression without realizing that violence is exactly what makes Hakan respect him less. Hakan's relationship with Aras is becoming one of more complicated part of the story. Hakan has reasons to keep Ares away, especially if he knows something about his past, yet he also appears capable of recognizing Era's courage. This creates a conflict between trust and protection. Hakan may believe he is protecting the Akaya family, Toyman, Lala, or another persons by hiding information. However, every lie has a cost. If Era's brother was separated from him because of our decisions lied to a Hakan of the family, then Hakan's silence has shaped Ara's entire life. Respecting Aras in the present cannot erase the suffering created by past actions. The question is whether Hakan will continue protecting the secret after the begins to understand Aras as a person. It is easy to hide the trust from a stranger. It becomes harder when that stranger stands in front of you, helps your family protect others, and refuses to abandon valuable children. Era's courage may slowly weak Hakan's ability to justify silence. Hakan could eventually reach a point where he must decide whether loyalty means protecting the family image of preventing further harm. True responsibility may require him to admit that Easier's choice were wrong. The orphanage clause is episode 9 will place this moral conflict in full view. Sabnam moved threatening the place Aras and his friend can home. The official summary explained that the children may be sent to different cities and that Aras felt trapped between remaining in Bodrum to search for his brother and fighting for the future of his friend. Instead of living peacefully, his children decide to stay outside the orphanage and Barry's May Oslam becomes important supporters in Ara's struggles or then a problem involving a building. The orphanage represented shared history, safety, friendship and belonging. It may not be a perfect home, but it is the home these young people know. For Aras, the threat creates an almost impossible choice. His personal missions require him to stay in boredom. He has finally moved closer to people who may know what happens to his brothers. Living now could destroy years of searching, yet he cannot ignore the other children. They are not simply people who happens to live in the same place. They understand one another's long lines. They have built a form of family through shared experience. If they are separated and sent to different cities, many of those relationships may disappear. Arask must decide how much of himself he can give him to the group while continuing his own search. This conflict reveals why Arask is becoming a leader. Leadership does not mean he always knows the answers. It means people trust that he will not forget them. When his personal problem become difficult, Aras could focus only on fighting his brothers, but he understands that the other children also have fear and unfinished stories. His decisions to remain with them outside the orphanage shows that he will not allow them to be quietly divided without resistance. He gives their pain a public face. Authorities may face it easy to move children when each two child is treated as a separate case. It becomes harder when they stand together and demands to be seen as a community. Their decisions to camp outside the building it also symbolically powerful. The children also being told that they do not belong inside, so they create a new shared space directly in front of the place they are losing. They refuse to despair. Their presence turns an administrative decisions into a human story. Pupils passing by can their fears. The media may notice member of the Akaya family may be forced to look at the result of Sabnam actions. The protect also give Aras another opportunity to prove that power does not belong only to rich families. People without money can still organize, speak, and stand together. Sabnam's role in the closures make the conflict personal. According to the episode 9 trailer information, she takes the step that cause the orphanage to close and once again comes face to face with Arask. Wins the threat Arask represents by answering his question. Instead, she is attacking the foundation beneath him by targeting the orphanage. She may believe she can force Eras to leave Bodrum if his friends are separated and his home despairs. Orphan, perhaps he will lose the sports that allows him to continue fighting. This strategy prevails. Sabnam fear powerful people do not useful use such extreme measures against someone they considered harmfulness. If Arask were simply an annoying young man with no connections to the family past. Ignoring him would be erase her determinations to remove his struggles, that his questions are moving dangerously close to something real. Every effort to silence him therefore becomes direct evidence that the secret matters. Sabnams may not understand that her action increase Arask's determination. He has already spent years without a complete family. Taking another home away from him will not teach him to surrender. It will convenience him that the people opposing him are even more afraid of the trust than he first believed. Sabnam may also making a major mistake by harming innocent children. Until now, some characters would remain natural because they view the conflict arrive as a private struggle between Aras and the Akaya. The orphanage closures change that buries Oslam and the other children and perhaps members of the public now have a direct reasons to oppose her. Even people who do not know the brother mystery can understand that separating valuable young people for personal revenge is wrong. Sabnam risks turning a family secret into a public moral scandal. Leila will likely face another serious test because of his decisions. If her family is responsible for threatening the orphanage, supporting her ask will require more than private sympathy. She may have to openly challenge Sabnam. They could create a deeper break inside the family. Lala may be pressured to choose where she belongs. Sabnam could agree that family loyalty depends on obedience. Aras, however, may not ask Lala to abandon her family. He may simply ask her Lala and abandon her family. He may simply not to spot injustice. The difference important. A mature love story would allow Lala to care about the family still allowed Lala to care about her family while still abuse family while holding them responsible for harmful choices. Dennis may face similar decisions. Her confessions to Aras and her conversations with Lala show that she is emotionally involved, but the orphanage struggles will test whether she cares about Eras as a person or only desires his attention. Loving someone means caring about the people and responsibilities that matters to them. Eras' friends are part of his life. If Dennis remains silent while the orphanage is closed, her declaration of love feel incomplete. She may not be able to change Sabnam's decisions alone, but she can choose whether to stand with the children or remain protected inside her family world. Toyman, to the other hand, may see the orphanage crisis and another tool. He wants Aras to feel powerless. Watching Aras struggles to protect his friend might appear satisfying to him, yet this is where Toyman plan could again turn against him. Public sympathy will probably move toward the children. Arask leadership may win more respect from Hakaya and others. Lala may become even more loyal to him. Instead of removing Aras, the closers could make him a stronger symbol of courage and resistance. Toyman could then discover that every attack only increased Aras' influence. The returns of Sehrad to the center of the mystery may be the most important development in episode 9. The official second trailer said that Aras finds Sehrad in a place where Hakan has been behind him. Aras then asks whether Sehrad is the person who brought him to boredom and whether he knows the locations of his brothers. Trons can finally connect several separate questions. Why was Arask guide to Bodrum who wanted him there? Was the information meant to help him, trap him, or force the Akaya family to react? Why does Hakan needs to hide Sehrat? What does Sehrat knows that make him dangerous? Sehrat has survived by keeping information and using it is carefully choose moment. A person like this rarely tells the full trust without a reasons. Even when he answers are asked, he may mix fact with lies. He could reveal enough to gain protections while hiding the part that placed him in danger. Arask must therefore listen carefully. He must important care. Clue may not be what Sarat says directly, it may be the name he avoids, the question he refuses to answer, or the fear visible when Arask mentions a particular person Hakan decisions to hide. Sehrat is also suspicious. He may be protecting Sehrat from someone who wants him dead. He may be preventing Sehrat from revealing the trust. He may be using Sehrat to control the situation. This possibility leads to every different interference of a Khan characters. If he is protecting a witness, he may already be moving toward the right side. If he is imposing or silence a witness, his respect for Aras becomes less meaningful. Episode 9 needs to show whether Khan is struggles with guilt or simply meanings another threat to the family. The danger surrounding Sehrat was already growing before his confrontation. Official episode 8 clips highlight that an order was given for Sehrat to be killed and that Arask was moving toward dangers. That knowledge is valuable enough for someone to consider murder. The person giving such as a orders is probably not afraid of a small family embarrassment. The hidden trends may involve identity, inheritance, abortions, responsibility for the separation of the brothers, or and other decisions with serious consequence. Arask's search is therefore becoming physically dangerous. He is not merely opening an old emotions wound. He is threatening people who may lose power, freedom, money, or family relationship if the past is exposed. The mystery of Arask's brother remains the center that holds the series together. Romance, attraction, attention, and family conflict create drama, but Arask's search gives the story its emotional purpose. He is not searching because he wants to win a competition. He wants to recover a part of his identity. When children lose their families at a young age, memories can become incomplete. A face, a name, or a small moment may carry immense importance because so little remains. Arask has built hope around the belief that finding his brothers can repair something inside him. However, the series may eventually challenge that belief. Finding his brothers will not automatically erase the years of separation. The brothers may have grown up in a very different environment. He may not remember eras clearly. He may resist the trust become accepting it would threat his current identity. He may love the people who raised him even if they were connected to a dishonest decisions. Eras could find the person he has been searching for and still discover that building a relationship will require patient forgiveness and painful honesty. Many signs continue to make viewers question whether team could be connected to Ara's brother. Earlier development pointed Ara's search toward Toyman and the family. Extreme reactions keep the possibility alive. Still, this should be treated as a theory. Letters and confirm information. The story may be intentionally placing Toyman near the mystery to mislead viewer. He could be the brother. He could know the brothers. He or his identity could be linked. The same secret without him begins stammer. The writers may also reveal that and others characters has hidden connections to Aras. If Toyman and Aras brothers, the emotional consequence would be immense. Aras has spent his life dreaming of reunion while Toyman has threatened him as an enemy. Every attack would again are tragic new meanings. Toyman jealousy could partly come from an unconscious sense that Aras treated his help in the family. Hakan and Sebnem's actions would require a full explanation. They may have know that trust suspect it so participated is hiding it. Lala and Dennis would also be forced to reconstruct every conflict they witnessed. For Arask, learning that Toyman in his brothers would create a deep moral struggle. He would finally find the person he has searched for, but that person would also be responsible for violence and cruelty. Arask would need to separate his hope for a brothers from the reality of the man standing before him. Family connection does not erase responsibility. He could love Toyman as a brother while refusing to excuse his behavior. That difficult balance would give the story more depth than a simple happy reunion. For Toyman, the trust could destroy his understanding of himself, his identity, of his closest tie to Akaya family. If he act our family discover his understanding of himself, his identity is closely tied to Kaya family. If he discovered that Arask was his biological brother, could and that major part of his childhood story were hidden, he might feel betrayal. Be everyone is hated could identity becomes worse. He might blame Arask for uh, bringing the end to turns weapons, even though Arask did not create the lie. Later, he could realize that Arask was also a victim. Whether he accepted that realizations would determine if his characters move toward redemption or complete destruction. Another possibility is that Arask's brother is alive but that has not yet become a major visible character. Sahrat may reveal a location, a new name, or evidence that the brothers was sent elsewhere. This could expand the story beyond the Akaya family while still keeping them connected to the original separation. Such a reveal would allow the series to introduce a new characters whose loyalty are unknown. The brothers could arrive with his own goals, secret and angers. He might not welcome Arask's search. The timing of the revelations will be important. If the story confirms the brothers' identity too early, it will need a new central mystery. If the delay the answers for too long, viewers may feel that the search is not progressing. Episode 9 designs to provide a meaningful clue without necessarily giving the answers. Sehrat confrontations with Aras can move the mystery forward while opening another question. He may identify the persons who sent the message but refuse to reveal the brother's location. He may claim the brother is dead only or agrees to discover evidence that is also laying him a point toward Hakan, Sabnam, or someone not yet suspected. Arask should also question why he was brought to boredom as his exact time, however, connected him with he has personal reasons. Perhaps someone inside the Akaya family wanted the trust exposed, but was too afraid to act openly. Perhaps Sahrat wanted money and believed Arask could help pressure the family. Perhaps and enemy of the Akayas wanted to use Aras as a weapon. The persons may not care about returning to brothers. Aras must be careful not to assume that everyone giving him information want to help him. This creates a dangers beyond physical violence. Aras can be emotionally manipulated because is so strong. A clever person who give him a false clue and known he will follow it. Toyman or Sabnam could use this weakness to move him away from the orphanage, separate from Lala, or place him in a trap. Arask need allies who can help him examine information before acting. Lala buries Oslam, and perhaps Khan may become important in preventing him from rushing into dangers. Barry's and Oslam sports during the orphanage protest may strengthen the group around Arask. They are not only background characters, their loyalty gives the story a wider emotional world beyond the Akaya family. Without them, the series could becomes too confused on a rich family conflict. The orphan age characters remind viewers that Arask has a life and history outside Lala, Dennis, and Doyman. They also shows the family can be created through can rather than blood. This theme is central to Daha 17. Aras is searching for his biological brothers, but he already has people who act like family. The other children understand his fears. He beside him without asking for his family money or status. The Akaya shares blood and a home, yet they often hide things from one another. The contract asks an important question in family defined by biologically or by the people who remain beside you when life becomes difficult. The series does not need to choose only one answer. Biological connections matters deeply to Arask, but Chosen's family also given him strength. The orphanage crisis brings them into focus because the children are threatening with separations. Officials may view them as individuals who can be placed in different cities. The children see themselves as a group. Their emotions bound may not appear on official papers, but those bound are real. By resisting, they are demanding recognitions to the family they have built. Arask's leadership comes from his understanding that losing those relationships can create another storm of avoidance. Sarnam family, meanwhile, he has many sources but little emotional safety. Family members do not speak openly, they use pressure secretly and control. Protection the family often means protecting its public image rather than protection the emotional health of the people inside it. This is why toyman angers can grow without being properly addressed. It is why Lala may hide or defend her feelings. It is why Dennis feels unseen. The Akaya homes may be physically beautiful, but its relationships are becoming unstable. Ara's presence exposes his instability because he does not know how to participate in their silence. He asks direct questions. Asks. He reacts when someone is treated unfairly. He does not automatically respect authority based on wealth to the Akaya. His can look like dangerous behavior. In reality, Eras is forcing them to confront problem they have avoided for years. The more than try to remove them, the more clearly they reveal their fear. Episode 9 may theirs be less about losing the orphanage and more about choosing what kind of family each character wants. Lala choose whether family loyalty means silence or honesty. Dennis can choose whether love becomes jealousy or empathy. Hakan's can choose whether protection means hiding the trust or admitting it. Toyman can choose whether pain justified destruction. Sabnam can choose whether preserving control is worth harming innocents. Worth peoples across can choose how to balance his responsibility toward the people already beside him. The protect outside the orphanage could also change how to Winder's community viewers are asked. Until now, much of the conflict has happened in private space. A public protest creates witness. People may ask why the orphanage is being closed. Journalists may investigate donors connected to the charity. Even may becomes interested. The Akaya public image could be managed again, especially because the family recently honest an event claiming to sponsor children without families. The contract would be difficult to ignore. Presenting yourself as a supporter of valuable children while helping close him home would appear deeply hypocritical. This may be the key to Ara's strategy. He cannot match the Akaya financially, but he can make the trust visible. Powerful families can often depend on controlling the story told about them. Ara's greatest weapon may be public attention. He does not need to create false accusations. He only needs to show how to attend orphanage can speak for themselves. He does not need to create false accusations. He only ways of the speak for themselves. These fears and unity may more powerful than any formal statement. Symptoms may respond by attempting the change by public story. He should claim the building is unsafe, the closures in unnecessary, or the children will receive better care elsewhere. Some of those reasons might even contain partial trust. Effective manipulation often uses affect without revealing the real purpose. Arask will need evidence connecting her personal conflict to the closures. Without evidence, the family can describe him an emotional young man who does not understand the situation. Hakan could become important here if he disagrees with Sabnam actions. He may have the power to reserve or delay the closures. His administration for Arask's courage suggests that he may not fully support the plan, yet acting against Sabnam could create a direct conflict inside the family. Hakan may try to find a compromise, but the story is moving toward a point where compromise may no longer be possible. He may have to take a clear side if he can't have help save the orphanage. Arask may begin trust him. That trust could lead the brother's secret. Hakan may reveal information slowly, believing he can control how much Arask learn. However, trust bill or particles trust is fragile. If Arask later discovered that Hakan knew more than he admitted, the sense of betrayal will be stronger. Hakan should understand that helping with the orphanage cannot buy silence about the past. The coming episode may also give us Layla a quieter emotional moment during the protest. Difficult Christmas dance often remove the need for performance. They will not be attending a glamorous event or pretending to be a couple for an audience. They will be tried, worried, and surrounded by children who may lose their home in that environment. Layla Sports can show Aras whatever she is prepared to share the difficult part of his life. Love looks very different outside a party. It may mean sitting beside someone through the night, helping arrange food, speaking to officials, or comforting frightening children. Arask may finally understand that Lala feelings are real if she stays when there is nothing exciting or beautiful about the situations. Lala may understand Arask more deeply when she sees how much responsibility he carries. She may also realize that his search for his brothers cannot be separated from his commitments to the orphanage, the people there, the part of the who he is. Dennis could also join the protest, creating an emotionally complex situation. She may understand near Arask while not that he loves Layla. Instead of turning the movement into a competition, the story could allow both young women to focus on to the children. This would give Dennis an opportunity to prove that her feelings are not purely selfish. It would also prevent the female characters from being reduced to enemies fighting for a boy. There's a different relationship with Aras can exist without destroying their ability to respect each other. Toyman may enter this environment with a different purpose. He could arrive to observe, provoke, or create a new problem. Hakan prayers of Arask may push him to demonstrate that Arask is not a hero. He might try to expose information, cause an argument, or make Aras appears violent. Arask may need to remain calm. Toyman's greatest advantage comes when he can force Aras to react without thinking. If Arask loses control in front of officials or cameras, the family could use that moment against him. This is why Arask's development should involve more than bravery. He must learn strategy. Courage without passion can lead him into traps. He needs to recognize that the people opposing him have greater resource and experience. They can use legal documents, public relations, private security, and social influence. Arask must build evidence, protect witness, and choose the right moment to speak. Sehrat information could be valuable, but only if Ras can keep him alive and determine which part of his story are true. The order against Sahara suggests a race against time. Someone may try to reach him before he can speak. Hakan hiding place may no longer be safe. One Arask discover it. Toyman could follow Arask. Sabnam could learn that Sahrat is alive, and others unknown persons may already be watching. Episode 9 may end before Sahrat give a complete answers, using an attack and interruptions as a cliffhanger. This would keep the brother mystery open while raising the danger. Sahrat might also attempt to escape He may not trust Hakan or Arask. He could believe that giving information will make him unnecessary, will make him before easier to kill. To protect himself, he may offer only one clue at a time. He could demand money, safe passage, or protection. Arask will have little patience for such bringing because the information concerned his brother. Their confrontations may become emotionally intense, but Arask need to avoiding frightening Sehrat into silence. A useful clue could involve the anonymous message that first led Aras to boredom. If Sehrat admit involvement, Aras can woo, give him the information. Sehrat may have been only a messenger. The persons behind him could be someone inside the Akaya more. This would explain why the message was accurate enough to bring Erasco to the trust but incomplete enough to create confusion. Someone may be trying to reveal the secret indirectly. Another possible clue could involve position, adoptions, records, or a change name. Eras know his brother by the identity connected to their childhood, but the brothers may have lived under another's name for years. That would make ordinary searching difficult. A powerful family could have used influence to protect the new identity. Sahrat may know the original agreements, the persons who handles the paper, or the place where the brothers was sent. The lead titles Daha 17 also keeps age and lost youth at the center of the story. Arask is young, but life has forced him to carry responsibility that many adults avoid. He is searching for family, protecting friends, comforting wealthy people, and facing physical dangers. Lala, Dennis, and Toyman are also young. They are begins shaped by a secret created before they and Ani powered the adults' decisions have entered the lives of the next generation. This helps explain why the series is not only a mystery or romance. It is also a story about young people inheriting unfinished problems. Arask inherits lost Toyman may have inherited a false identity or family conflict. Lala inherits expectations and silence sees inheritance. Emotional distance, they must decide whether to continue the parents created by adults or build something different. Arask's greatest strength is that he refuses to accept that the past should remain hidden simply because powerful people prefer silence. His weakness is that he sometimes allows emotions to pull him toward dangers. Lala's strength is her willingness to question her family. His weakness may be hesitations when the cost becomes personal. Danny's strength is emotional honesty. Her weakness is the risk of seeking comfort from someone like Toyman. Toyman's strength in his confidence and ability to act. His weakness is that angers control his judgment. Sebnem's strength is her strategic mind and influence. Her weakness is that fear of losing control leads her into incredulity. Cruel's choices Hakan's strength in his ability to recognize complexity, his weakness in his willingness to remain silent. Episode 9 can bring all this strength or weakness together. The orphanage struggles will test leadership and loyalty. Danny's revelations to Lala will test emotional honesty. Toyman's reactions to Hakan praise will test his self-control. Araz confrontation with Sehrat will test his patience. Sabnam Closer's plan will test whether her power can defeat public resistance. Hakan hidden action will test whether he is moving toward trust or deeper deceptions. Viewers should pay close attention to who knows where Sehrat is. If only Hakan knows, then Aras finding the location suggests that someone followed Hakan or gave Aras information. If Toyland discovers it, he may try to search react first. If Sabnam already knows, Hakan may be protecting Sehrat from Sabnam's protecting the message vehicles or had conversations could reveal which character is controlling the situations. And other details to watch is Hakan expressions when Aras asks about his brothers. A person can create prepares world, but emotional reactions are harder to hide. If Hakan appears shocked that Aras connected Sahara to the message, he may know less than viewers suspect. If he appears afraid, he may know that trust. If he becomes angry, that angry may be an attempt to stop the conversation. The direction of his eyes and his speed of his response could matter as much as answers itself. Lala's response to Dennis will also be important. If she immediately runs to Arask, the relationship may move forward quickly. If he becomes distant, she may be overwhelmed by the situation. She might also question Danny's reasons from telling her. The healthiest response would involve speaking directly to Arask rather than building an other's misunderstanding. However, television drama often uses delayed communications to increase tension. Arask may not be ready to discuss love while the orphanage is in danger. Lala could interrupt this and rejections even though his attention is simply focused and elsewhere. Their relationship will need patience. If Lala truly understands him, she will recognize that protecting the children and fighting his brothers are not excuses to avoid her. They are central part of his life. Danny's futures may depend on how Toyman react after learning that she told Lala and trust. If Toyman hoped to use Danny's heartbreak against Aras, her honesty may ruin his plan. He could become angry and hurt or try to convince her that Lala does not deserve Aras. Dennis must decide whether she will allow Toyman to shape her pain. Her strongest path would be to reject his manipulations while also taking emotional space. Arask Toyman Dangerous game may involve Dennis, but it could also involve the orphanage. The might believe that demanding something Arask love will force Arask into a mistake. Yet harming children would move Toyman beyond personal jealousy into a much darker area. If the story want to preserve a possible redemption path, Toyman may not fully understand the consequence of his plan until it's too late. He could accidentally cause someone to be injured, expose the family secret, or place Dennis in danger. The official desperation's warning that Toyman will ultimately suffer from his own game strongly suggests that his plan will return to him could be emotions rather than physical. Dennis may discover that he used her and reject him. Hakan may lose trust in him. Layla may cut all contact. Evidence of his actions may become public. He may even learn a trust about his identity that make his attack on Arask feel unbelievable. Sabnams could also lose control of Toyman. She may believe she can direct his toward angers Arask, but Toyman hatred for his family means he may no longer his instructions. If he feels used, he could reveal information simply to hurt everyone. A secret protected for years can be destroyed by one angry person speaking at the wrong moment. Shabnam's greatest threat may therefore come from inside her own home. This creates an interesting reveal. Shabnam is attacking Aras because she believes he will expose his family, but her actions may push Toyman into exposing in first. By increasing pressure, she makes everyone less predictable. Khan may confess out of guilt. Laila may investigate. Laila may overhear something. Toyman may act save his life. The secret is becoming too large for one person to control. Arask does not need characters to join his side. He only needs the people protecting the lie to stop trusting one another. Once the family begins fighting entirely different versions of the past will appear. Arask can compare those versions and identify the constructions. His search may success not because someone chose to tell him everything, but because the family stories no longer match. Episode 9 may therefore end with a clue rather than complete answer. Sehrat could emotions are named that shock Aras. Hakans could arrive and stop the conversations. Leila could discover evidence connected her family to Aras' childhood. The orphanage protect could be interrupted by an emergency. Any of these endings would create a strong bridge into episode 10. The most emotionally powerful ending world connect Aras in two families. Imagine Aras receiving information about his biological brother at the same moment the orphanage children are being forced apart. He could be standing between the family he lost and the family he found. The story could then ask him to choose where to go. Does he follow the new clue immediately or remain with the children who needs him? A meaningful solution would allow his friend to help him rather than forcing him to carry about burdens alone. Arad has spent much of his life believing he must solve everything by himself. His growth maybe accepting does not make him weak. Lala, Baris, Oslam, and other can share the struggles. The brother search does not have to remain a private mission. Once the people around him understand the dangers, they can investigate different parts of the mystery. This could also protect us from manipulations. Lala understands the Akaya family habits. Baris and Oslam understand the orphanage local relationship. Dennis may hear conversation inside the family. Hakan may know the past. Even Toyman could eventually provide information intentionally or be extended. Ra's success will come from connecting these different perspectives. The latest update therefore places Daha 17 at the beginning of a larger confrontation. Episode 8 broke the Akaya family public image and brought hidden feelings into the open. Episode 9 will threatening Era's home, force the orphanage children to resist separation, push Lala toward the trust about Aras club, deepen Toyman anger, and bring Sahrat face to with Aras. The story is moving from private suspicion to open resistance. The closures of the orphanage may look like Sabnam victory as first. She has influence, legal power, and the ability to make decisions quickly. Arask and the children appears to have little protections, yet the emotional direction suggests that her action will unite people against her. The children protect will make the issue visible. Baris and Oslam will spot Aras. Hakan represent may grow. Lala may challenge her family. Dennis may refuse to remain silent. Sabnams could discover that removing a building is easier than breaking the relationship from the inside it. Aras confrontations with Sahrat may product similars reveal Sahrat may appears weak because he is hiding, but the information he carries give him power. Hakan may appears to weak him. His hiding Sahrat also weak. Hakan responsible for his safety. Arask may appear desperate, but his direct questions could force both men to reveal what they know. The trust may not come through a calm confession, it may emerge through fear, construction, and pressure. The next episode could also show whether Aras can avoid becoming confused by anger, Sabnam, a personal torment violence is continuing, and the brother clue is closed. Anyone in his position could feel furious. Harass ability to remain focused while will determine whether he win he if we attacked without evidence. The family can use the reactions against him if we protect his friend. Question Sahrat carefully ask about he can turn the situations around. Lala can help manipulations that balance, but he should to be romantic sports only. Her characters need an active role in the investigations. She can question family records, observe Hakan and Sabnam, or speak to people who would never answer Aras. Because she belongs inside the Kaya world, she can reach places that remain close to him. Their partnership will become strongest when both contribute different abilities. Danny should also receive a path. Danny's romantic disappointment, her emotional honesty could become valuable. She may notice Toyman plans or understand something about the family that Lala has missed. By telling Lala that Arask loves her, Dennis may be choosing trust over personal advantage. If she continues making honest choices, she can become one of the most mature characters in the series. Toyman's path remains uncurtained. The story can take him toward redemption, strategy, or complete villainy. Redemption would require maybe apologize after another's failed plan. He would need to accept responsibility, stop planning errors, and confront the lines inside his family. Tragedy would occur if he learned the trust too late. After causing damage that cannot be repaired, complete villains would mean choosing power and revenge even after understanding that Aras is also a victim. Hakan's next actions may decide which direction Toyman take. Construct Christmas could depend Toyman angers, while honest conversations might help him understand why Aras courage deserved. Expect Hakan must be also examined whether his own sincerely had creates Toyman insecurity. Adults cannot hide important trust for years, and that act surprised when young people respond. badly after discovering them. Sabnam may believe that control protect her family. Her method are reacting the opposite result. Lala is forward after Toyman is turning the family. Dennis is speaking, confronting trust. The orphan colors may bring this public Christmas. Sahrat remain a living source of information. Every attempt to strength control is producing and another's correct. This is why the latest Daha 17 update feels more important than a normal episode review. Episode 9 is positions to continue the social story of the orphanage, the romantic story of Aras and Lela, the emotional story of Dennis, the destruction story of Toyman, and the central mystery of Arask brothers. There are no longer separate plots. Sabna move against the orphanage affect Arask search. Hakan respect affect Toyman, Dennis confessions affect Lela. Sehrat information affect the entire Akaya family. The episode will likely use these connections to increase pressure until someone makes a mistake. Sapna may underestimate the public response. Toyman may reveal too much while angry. Hakan may contradict an earlier story. Sahrat may name the wrong persons while trying to lie. Lala may name the wrong persons while trying to lie. Lala may overhear something she was never meant to hear. Arask will needs to recognize the mistake and act before the family repair it. The clearest prediction is that the orphanage will not disperse quality even if the official order remains in place. The children resistance will delay the process and create new allies. Arask may seek help from the public, the media, or people connected to the charity event. The Akaya could face questions about the publicly sport orphans while privately allowing a home to close. The pressure could force Khan to interference. A second prediction is that Sahrat will provide a real clue but not the complete trust. The series need to reward Ara's progress while preserving the mystery. The clue may connect the anonymous message to someone inside the Akaya family. It may also prove that also brother survived longer than he was previously told. That one would renew his hope and increase the dangers. Our third prediction is that Stoyman plans will damage his relationship with Dennis. She may intentionally accept his comfort because she feels rejected by Aras, but she will eventually see that Toyman is using the feeling. If he places her in danger or humiliate her, she may expose him. The persons Toyman accept control could become the persons who reveal his plan. A fourth prediction in which Lela and Arask will move closer emotionally without fully becoming a peaceful couple. Danny's revelations will move some uncontentedly, but the orphanage crisis and brother mystery will delay a complete romantic resolution. Their relationship will grow through shared actions rather than a simple confessions. A fifth prediction is that Hakan will become a temporary ally while continuing to hide a part of the trust. He may help protect the children or Sahrat, aiding Arask trust, yet the hidden past will remain between them. When Arask discovers the full story, Hakan Partishal's help may not protect him from responsibility. The episode emotional center should remain with Aras and the children outside the orphanage. Their fears, gives meaning to the larger mystery. Arask is not searching for trust only because he wants information. He understands what separation does to a young person. He knows what it means to be more forgotten and left without answers. This is why he cannot watch his friend face a similar loss without fighting. The protect may reward Arask of the day he was separated from his brothers. Seeing younger children afraid of being away could bring back memories he normally keep under control. These emotional connections may make him an even determined if he could also make him valuable. Leila or Oslam may need to help him remain calm when officials arrive. When a sense would depend and ask characters without repeating the same mysteries. Questions viewer could see this part influence how he treats others. He is not simply brave because the story needs a hero. He is brave because he understands the cost of abandonment. His leadership grows from empathy. This is where also separate him from toy men. Both young men carry pain, but they respond differently. Arask turns pain into protection. Toyman turns pain into punishment. Arask tries to prevent others from experiencing what he experienced. Toyman enters to make others feel the same anger he felt. Toyman is trying to make others feel the same anger he feels. Their conflict is therefore moral as well as personal. The series may eventually ask whether Stoyman can learn from Aras. If the brothers' theory is true, the lessons becomes even more meaningful. The two boys separated by Christmas stands could grow into the different peoples, or Han grow wealth but devolve empathy. The other grow may privilege but becomes emotionally lost. Their reunion would be simple, destroy a family. Our world becomes examine what truly shamed them. For now, episode 9 is not expanded to solve every mystery. Its purpose is to move the characters into positions where silence becomes harder. The orphanage children will be visible outside their closer home. Dennis will reveal what she knows about Arask's feeling. Hakan's administrations will be heard by Toyman. Sehrat will be discovered. Arask will ask the questions that many viewers have been waiting years. The answers may change everything. It may create an even larger question. Sehraz would say that he knows her brother's locations. He coordinates sending the message while accidentally revealing that he knows. While he could ask that his brother is closer than he realizes, he could point directly toward the Akaya family. Whatever he says, Arask, he will not to be able to return to the position to held before the confrontation. Sehrat Sabnam will also find it harder to treat Arask and constants outsiders. After episode 9, by attacking the orphanage, she is directly connected to her power, to his life. By protecting the family secret, he is connecting herself to his past. By opposing his relationship with Leila, she is connecting herself to his futures. She may want Aras gone, but every action places his deeper inside the story. The Akaya family may soon discover that Aras is not the danger destroy them. The real danger is the secret they choose to protect Eras is only the persons asking them to face it. If they had the trust easier, the consequence might have been painful but manageable. Years of silence have allowed fears, jealousy, and a false identity to grow around the original decisions. Episode 9 should make that lessons clear. Sabnam's plan may success for a short time, but it cannot move Arask need to answer storm and violence may frightening people, but it cannot create real loyalty. Hakan's silence may delay the trust, but it cannot erase Sahrat. Knowledge Danny's heartbeat may create tension, but it cannot change Arask's feeling. Knowledge heartbreaking may create tensions, but it cannot change feeling. Lala family pressure may slow her, but it cannot make her forget where she has been. The latest update leaves Arask standing at the center of several approaching storm. His home is being taken away. His friend may be separated. The girl is loved may finally learn the trust about his feeling. Dennis is dealing his rejection. Toyman is planning something dangerous. Hakan is hiding a key witness. Sahrat may know where Arask's brother is. Sabnam is pushing, using her influence to push Arask out of boredom. Yet Arask is not in the same position he occupied when he after first arrived. He now has people beside him. Lala understands him more deeply. Barras and Oslam supports the orphanage struggles. Hakan may begin recognizing his courage. Dennis may chooses honesty. The children trust him. Even Toyman obsessions prove that has changed the family balance. The next stage of Daha 17 will depend on whether these connections become a united force. Aras cannot defeat every threat alone. He needs Lala access, his friend loyalty, Danny's loyalty, friends, honesty, Hakan knowledge, and Sahrat evidence. If these pieces comes together, the secret will become impossible to hide. Episode 9 is therefore expanded to be a story about resistance. The children resist begin separated. Arask resistance, Sabnam effort to remove him. Lala resist family control. Dennis resist hiding the trust. Khan may begin resisting the burden of silence. Even Toyman resistance his family. All thought his resistance take are dangerous and attractive destructive from the difference will be the purpose behind each person's actions. Ask fights to protect people and find the trust. Sabnam fight pressures control. Toyman to fight satisfy and others. Lala satisfy angers. Lala fight to chooses her own. Dennis fights to understand her place. Hakan fight against the consequence of easier the consequence of decision. These different purpose the decided to gain strength and would destroy themselves. When episode 9 begins, the closed orphanage doors may appear to represent defeat. By the end they may become the symbol that bring everyone together. Sabna may have closed a building, but she could open a conflict she cannot control. The children's refusals to leave may inspire people who previously remained silently. Arask's stand may show Hakan may courage matters. Leila may realize that supporting Aras require public actions. Dennis may discover that love can mean helping someone even when they do not choose you. Meanwhile, Sahra's hidden information will continue pulling to ask the answers he was wanted for years. The question is no longer only whether his brother is alive. The deeper question is what was done to separate them, who benefited from the separations, and how many people have protected and trust the others may not give Aras immediate peace. If may reveal that the family the he hoped to recover has been living inside the same world that has tried to reject him. That possibility gives the series its strongest emotional tensions. Arask may be fighting the pupils connected to the persons to he loves and the brothers he seeks. The Akaya family may be trying to remove someone who is already connected to them by blood history, and both Toyman may be attacking the one person who understands his hidden pain. Lala may be falling in love with the person her family once harmed. As the next episode approaches, viewers should expect emotional confrontations at least as one major clue. The official information already confirmed the orphanage protect the Dennis. Revelations to Lala Toyman growing angers Hakan's administrations for Aras and Aras' confrontations with Sahrat, and those confirmed details remain up. Predictions by the direction is clear. The secrets are moving closer to the surface. Aras Quiz enters episode 9 believing he is fighting to save. He once finds his brothers. He may leave the episode understand that these two struggles have always been connected. Someone once separated him, a family, anyone how powerful decisions considers family this time Aras is all to fight back. This question is whether courage will be enough. Shabnam was influenced. Toyman has angers, and the hidden enemy behind Sahrat may be willing to use deadly force. Arask will need more than bravery. He will need evidence, patience, alliance, and the ability to recognize when someone strength, but their relationship will also creates another weakness that Dennis targeting Dennis' honesty may help, but her pain can still be manipulated. Hakan sport may become valuable, but his secret make him difficult to trust. Secret Sahrat may hold the answers, but several matters more to than loyalty. Every license in Daha 17 now contains is risk that is make the latest stage for the series existing. No characters can move forward without spending on someone who may also hurt them. Arask need information from people connected to the family. He distrust Lela, loves someone her family fears. Dennis may seek support from Toyman even though he is dangerous. Khan hides dangerous. Khan side Sahrat will possibility hiding the trust from Arask. Toyman wants revenge but may unknowingly attack him on futures. Episode 9 will likely end with the risk becoming impossible to ignore. Arask may receive the clue he needs. He someone else may hear it. The orphanage may gain temporary protections, but Sabnams may prepare a stronger response. Layla may expect her feeling, but Arask may move forward dangers. Therefore, they can speak. Dennis may reject Toyman manipulations, causing him to lose control. Hakan may help Arask only for evidence for his earlier roles to appear. Whatever the exact ending to end curtains, Arask is no longer searching quality. His first become visible. The orphanage children are standing with him. The Kaya family is divided because of him. Lila and Dennis are facing their feelings because of him. Toyman is exposing his darkest side because he cannot control him. Hakan is being pushed toward a decision because he respects him. Sehrat can no longer remain hidden because Arask has found him. The trust may still be protected, but the people protecting it are losing control. That is the most important. Latest update from Daha 17 episode 8 created the scandals and brought the emotional conflict into the opens. Episode 9 will transform those conflicts into directions. Actions. Arask will fight for his home, questions the man who may know his brother's location, and stand against a family with far more power than he has. He may has not win every battle in the coming episode. The orphanage may remain closed. Sehrat may refuse to give a complete answers. Lala may ask, may misunderstand each other. Storyman may plan, may cause serious damage. Sapnam may appears to regain control, yet each appears to regain control. Yet each struggles will bring Eros closer to the trust because the Akaya must reveal more of themselves every time they try to stop him. Ask him generally as a lonely young man looking for one missing person. He is now becoming the center of a larger fight about family, identity, injustice, and belonging. His search has shown him that blood ties matters, but so the people who choose to stay. The orphanage children may not share his name, yet they are part of the family. Lala may come from the world opposing him, yet she is choosing to stand closer. Even his enemies are connected to the questions that define his life. The next chapter will show whether these connections save him or place him in greater danger. For now, the close of the Orhan are closing Sahrat. Uh, Whether's connections save him place in a greatest dangers. For now, the door of the orphanage are closing. Sahrat is waiting with hidden knowledge. Toyman anger is growing, and Sabnam believes he can still control the outcomes. Arask, however, he spent his entire life shivering closed door. Episode 9 may prove that shutting him outside does not end his fight. It only gives him another reason to stand his ground. The night outside the orphanage and the trust Sehrat is hiding. As of Saturday, July 25, 2026, episode 9 of Daha 17 has not yet aired. The official preview plays the new episode on Sunday evening. The confirmed story pointed are clear. Sabnam causes the orphanage to be closed. Aras and the other children refuse to leave, and they spend the night together outside the building. Barris and Oslam spots them during these different struggles at the same time. Khan Fam openly respects Ara's courage, but Toyman hears his praise and becomes even more angry. Dennis tells Lala that Aras in this love with her also finds Sehrat in his place where Hakan also been hiding him and demands to create weathers. Sarah brought him to boredom and know the location of his missing brothers. Everything after is confirmed, set up in his original predictions, interpretations, and dramatic narrations. If does not claim to official episode 9 script, it explores how this event made change Arask, Leela, Dennis, Toyman, Hakan, Sebnam, and the children of the orphanage. The central question is no longer only whether Ali find his brothers. The larger question is how much demand the Akaya family with change while trying to prevent him from finding and the trust. The official story have already established that Iraz came to boardrooms after receiving information about his missing brothers, and this is search placed him against his powerful Akaya family. The night begins with a closed door. Arask stands outside the orphanage or looks at the entrance that has been welcomed him. The same door now carries an official notice. The word no, the appears are cold and formal. They explain that the building must be emptied and that the children will be moved to different places. The notice does not mention friendship, it does not mention memories, it does not explain what it feels like for a young person who feels like for a young person to lose another home. It treats the children like name of the list that can be moved from one city to another to the authorities. This can may be a simple administrative decision to harass. It feels like an other's family gift taken ability to the taken away from him. He slowly turns toward the children toward him. Some are silent, some are asking questions. That ability knowing how to answers a younger boy wants to know whether he can take his bed with him. A girl is holding a small bag because she thinks they may be forced to leave at any moment. Another child refuses to cry because he does not want the children others to see that he is frightening. The older children are trying to appear calm, but their faces reveal the trust. They know that being sent to different cities may end the relationship they have built over many years, but other children also understand how easily pupils become separated when adults control even parts of their movement. Arask feel responsible for all of them, even though nobody officially gave him that responsibility. He knows that it means to wait for adults to solve a problem and slowly understand that nobody is coming. He knows what it means to carry hope long after other people tell you to accept loss. This is why the cannot simply advise his children to obey the decisions. He cannot tell them that everything will be fine when he does not believe it. He can only promise that he will not leave them alone will while they fight. He stay there. Arask say the sentence is simple, but it changed the mood. The children look at him, and if he opened another's door, they may no longer be allowed inside the building, but they can remain together outside it. The officials can look at room, but they cannot immediately erase the family. The children have created a task tell to bring blanket, water, food, and anything else to may need. He does not present the decisions as a great act of rebellion. He may calmly because the younger children are already afraid. His goal to not to create panic. His goal is how to the still have a choice. Barris immediately began helping. He checked which children needs medicines and asked whether anyone has connected the farm staff members. He understands that courage without planning can quickly become dangerous. The children cannot remain outside without food, clean water, and adult sport. Barris may not have asked loud confidence, but the offers another kind of strength. He noticed particles problem become before they become emergencies. Arask give the group directions while Barras help that directions become possible. Oslam also step forward. She begins calling people who may be able to be helped. She contact former involved look up show honor teaches and anyone who has shown kindness to the orphanage. She asked for blanket and simples mean. She also explained that the children do not want to be separated. Oslam understand that the fight cannot remain hidden. Sabnam has influence, money, and connections. Aras and the children need witness. They need ordinary people to understand what is happening. Within a short time, the escape outside the orphanage begins to change. Blankets are placed to ground. A few plastic chairs appear. Sometimes someone brings larger containers of water. A local restaurant needs bread and soup. The children gather closely together as darkness covers the street. They are still afraid, but they also no longer waiting alone. Their small become a public statement. They are saying that his building is not empty simply because an official's paper. If she must close, its family is sitting directly outside. Arask watches the younger children, yet he tries to smile whenever one of them look toward him, but his mind is moving several directions. He needs to protect the orphanage. He needs to question Sehrat. He needs to understand why Hakan is hiding him. He needs to stay near Lala, who may be endangered because of her spots of him. He also knows Toyman will not remain quiet. Every problem required immediate attention, and Arask is only one person. For the first time, the search for his brothers feels like something they may force him to burden the people in front of him. He has spent years waiting for a crew rules. Now Sehrat may finally know something important. If Aras delay the confrontation, Sehrat could disappear again. Someone has already wanted Sehrat removed because of what he knows. However, if Aras leave the children during the fight night of their protest, they may believe that his private missions matter more than their futures. After here's the choice because both sides are connected to family. His missing brothers present the family he lost, the children outside the orphanage represent the family he sounds. Saving one should not require avoiding the others. Yet that is exactly what Samnam appear designs to achieve. She may understand that Aras cannot find in two places at once. By closing the orphanage now, she forces him to divide his attention at the moment. He is closest to Sahrat. This makes as wondered whether is the timing accidental. Sabnams may claim that the orphanage rules financials or safety is confirmed as does not believed it. He has challenged her family too many times. He has moved too close to Lala. He has questioned the Khan. He has followed Sahrat. Now the only stable home in the life is begins taken away. To ask this is not any administration, it is a warning. Lala arrives while he is still thinking. She stepped out of a car and looked the children gathered in front of the building. She has been poverty and sadness before, but this situation feels different because she understands that her own family may be connected to it. She noticed the official notice on the door. She sees the younger children holding their blankets. She sees Arask standing among them, trying to protect everyone while hiding his own fears. For a moment, Lala does not know how to appear him. Dana's words are still moving through her mind. Arask love you. That sentence has changed every memory Lala has to him. She thinks about that moment when he protected her, challenged her, avoiding answers her questions, and look at her when he believes he was not watching what he once considering. Confusion now appears clear. His feeling may have been present for much longer than she understood. However, this is not the right moment to demand a romantic explanation. Eras is fighting for the orphanage Lala about while children are afraid of losing their home would be selfish. She quietly walks toward Oslam and asks how she helped. Oslam gives her a list of supplies. Lala does not argue or ask to speak with Aras first. She immediately begins making calls. Aras sees her, does not approach her presence brings relief, yet it also creates worry. He knows Sabnam will react badly when she learns that Lala is sporting the protects. Lala is already standing against her family by hiding. There's Arask does not want her to become another target at the same time telling her to leave would be unfair. Lala has the right to decide what she believes and whom she supports. Their eyes meet across the camp. No words are necessary. Lala gives him a small note telling him that she is staying. Arask looked away before his emotions becomes too visible. He wants to walk to her. He wants to explain everything. He wants to tell that her Danny spoke the trust. Instead of child pulls his heel and asks where they will sleep. It starts raining. Ark returning his attentions to the problem in front of him. Lala noticed this and understands something important about him. Arask does not ignore her because he does not care. He moves away because he cares about too many people at the same time. His love is not expressed through words or private movement. It is visible. Is the way to answer every frightening child, check every blanket, and refuses to eat until everyone else has food. Lala realized that loving Araz means accepting that he will never turn away from people who need him. Dennis arrives later and remains edge of the camp. She sees Lala helping Oslam. She sees Aras watching Lala when he thinks up nobody noticed the sign hurt, but it does not surprise her. She has already spoken the trust aloud. Arask loves Lela and Lela probably loves him. Accepting this does not immediately remove Dennis' feelings, it only removes the false hope that Arask may choose her if she waits long enough. Toyman offered her comfort when she left rejected and forgotten at first. Dennis welcomed these attentions because he appeared to understand her plans, yet the more time she spent near time, more than she noticed that his concerns always returns to Arask. Toyman does not simply want Dennis to feel better, he wants her pain to become an other's weapon. He asks questions about Aras and Lala. He encourages Dennis to feel betrayal. He wants her to believe that Lala has taken something from her. Dennis is beginning to understand that the difference between comfort and manipulations. A person who truly cares about her will not keep feeding his angers. A real friend would help her accept the trust, even when it trusts. Toyman does the opposite. He tries every sad feeling like fuel for a fire he wants to start. Dennis slowly enters the camp. One of the younger girls, recognizing her, asks whether he has brought anything to eat. Denise looked embarrassed because she arrived with nothing. She had been thinking only about Arask, Lala, and her own emotional confusions. The child questions remind her that something much larger is happening. It will bring food. Denise promises she leaves and returns later with bag from a bakery. She does not make a speech or try to impress Aras. She simply gives the food to Paris and help divide it among the children. Aras notices her actions and thanks her. His voice is kind but not romantic. The difference will still hurt, yet Dennis managed to smile. This small movement becomes the beginning of the growth. She cannot control Era's feeling, but she can control the kind of person she became after rejections. Toyman watched the camp from inside his car. He sees Lela standing near Arask. He sees Dennis carrying food. He sees people from the neighborhood arriving with supplies. Every image increasing his anger. The orphanage closures was supposed to weaken Arask, but it is making him more respected. Instead of leaving boardrooms, Arask is becoming the center of a public struggles. People are listening to him. Hakan is praising him. Lala is choosing him. When Dennis appears to move away from Toyman influence, Toyman feels as Pout Aras has entered slowly, taken everything. This should believe belongs to him. This belief is not responsible, but anger. Rarely follow Lala was never Toyman property. Hakan respect is not a limited object that Aras can steal. Dennis' friendship does not belongs to him. Still, Toyman weathers every relationship as a competition. When another person receives love, he feels that love has been taken from him. Earlier, Toyman heard Hakan speaking about Aras' courage. The world remained inside his mind. Hakan did not simply say that Arask was brave. In Toyman memory, in praise become a comparison. He imagines Hakan saying that Arask is that son he wishes He imaged the entire family looking at Arask with greater respect than they have ever shown him. The more Toyman repeats the conversations in his mind, the more painful it becomes. He does not ask whether Hakan might also be proud of him if he acted with courage and kindness. He does not consider that attacking Aras publicly damaged the family. Instead, he decides that Aras is controlling everywhere. This allows Toyman to avoid looking at him on choices. If Aras cause of every problem, then Toyman never have to accept responsibility. Hakan is watching the same camp from a different location. He does not want to be seen, but he cannot stay away. Seeing the cannot swing the children outside make him uncomfortable. He notes Sabnam actions is only about the building. She wants Aras to leave. Hakan understand why she is afraid, but he is beginning to question whether fear justified everything they are doing. Aras has shown qualities Hakan did not expect. He has protected people who could not reward him. He has helped the Akaya family after Toyman attacking him. He has remained loyal to the orphanage while continuing the search for his brothers. Hakan may have first viewed him and reckless outside, but his view is becoming impossible to maintain. Hakan also knows more about Arask's past than he has admitted. Every act of courage makes that knowledge behaviors. It is easier to lie about someone when you treat that person as an enemy. It becomes harder when you see his humanity. Hakan may tell himself that silence toward protect everyone but the children outside the orphanage leaves who is paying the cost of that silence. Sahrat is another burden. Hakan has hidden him because Sahrat carries information that could destroy the family. Hakan may also believe he is protecting Sahrat from one person who wants him killed, yet hiding a witness and protecting a witness are not always the same thing. If Hakan truly wants to protect Sahrat, why he does not told Arask trust, why he does not involve the police, why he does he still behave and throw information belongs to him. The answer is that Hakan is trying to control the open is which the trust appears. He may understand that the past cannot remain hidden forever, but he wants to decide when where how to reveal this give him feelings that he can protect the family from complete destruction. The problem is that trust does not always follow a careful plan. Arask is moving faster. Toyman is coming. Taking Sabnam is extreme action. Sahrat is frightening anyone of them. Mystery destroy. Hakan controls. Sabnam meanwhile is not watching the children with reject. She is studying the situation at the thread. She expects the orphanage close to force Aras into a choice. She believes the would either leave boardrooms with the other children or becomes too busy protecting them to continue investigating the Akayas. Instead, he has burned the closers into a public protest. People are taking photographs, local business are bringing food. Laila is present. Dennis have also appeared. Hakan is clearly trouble. The result is opposite of what Shabnam wanted. Aras look less like a dangerous outside and more like a young leader defending children who have no power. Shabnam tells him that public tensions can be controlled. She contact people who on favors to the family. She asks officials to explain that the building is unsafe. She suggests that the children are begins move from their own public to see Arask as an emotional teenager who does not understand the legal situation. The strategy may work with some people's official language can make unfair decisions appear responsible is a document say a building in dangerous. Many people will accept the explanations Arask need more than anger. He need evidence showing that the decision was influenced by Sabnam's personal conflict with him. Lala may be able to find that evidence. She knows how her family works. She knows which pupils Sabnam sells when she wants to problem removed. She recognizes that name of official who attend the Akaya social event while helping at the camp. Lala brings asking quiet questions. She does not excuse anyone openly. She listens. Our former orphanage employees tell her that the building passed an inspection only a short time ago, and other persons say the concludes order appeared unusually effect. A local official refuses to answer basic question about where the children will be sent. None of these details proves Sabnam involvement, but together they create doubt. Lala witness everything down. She knows Arask may rush to confirm Savnam and hears these details. She wants to strong evidence they first. This is where Laila can offer something Arask need. He has courage, but she has access and patience. She can move through conversations that would immediately end if Arask enters the room. Dennis noticed Leila collected information and joined her. At first, the situation is uncomfortable. Both young women know what Dennis has confessed. Both know that Arask's feelings stand between them. Leila expects anger, while Dennis expects pity. Neither wants to begin the conversation. Leila thanks her for telling the trust. Dennis looked toward Arask before answering. I did not tell you to help you. I know, Lala says. I told you because I was tried. Of begins the only person carrying it. Lala accepts the honesty. Dennis is not pretending to be hurt and confused. However, she still chooses trust instead of creating an other's lie. Lala respects that choice. They agree to focus on the orphanage. Dennis knows more about Toyman's recent behavior, while Lala understands Sabnam's together. They may be able to see how the two plans connect. Dennis explained that Toyman keeps asking where Aras goes and who he meets. He appears especially interested in Sahrat. Lala becomes concerned if Toyman discovered where Hakan is hiding Sahrat, he may reach him before Arask can learn the trust. Arask has already decided that he cannot wait until morning. Barris promised to watch the camp while he is gone. Arask does not tell the younger children he is leaving. He only says that he is must handle something important and will return before the week. Leila sees him preparing to go and follow him away from the others. Why are you going? She asks. Aras avoid answering. Stay here. They need you. That instant and answers. It is the only answers I can give. Leila steps in front of him. It is about Sahrat. Aras is surprised that she knows his expressions confirm the trust before he speaks. Leila tells him that Toyman may also be searching for Sahrat. She warns Aran that the situation could be a trap. Arask understands the dangers, but he cannot remain outside the orphanage while the persons who may know his brother's locations wait somewhere nearby. He tells Leila he has spent years following the clue. Sahrat is different. Sahrat knows Hakan. He knows something about Demir. He may know who wants the message that brought about to boredom. Leila asks to do what whether Araz refuses because he believes she can be refused. Leila becomes angry once again. Araz is making a decision for her. While claiming to protect her, you don't get to tell me where I belong, she says. Araz look back at the children. Tonight you belong here. The world could young sound controlling, but Leila understands his meaning. She has excused the information and peoples to children need. Her presence at the camp also makes it more difficult for Sabnams to use force if the daughters of the Akaya family is sitting in the children removing the becomes a greater public problem. Lala finally agrees, but she makes a promise to call her as soon as finds Sahrat gives the promise. Even though he does not know whether he can keep it, he lives with Mattens moving quietly through the dark street. The locations where Hakan has